Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Chris here, sitting in the backyard, just enjoying a nice evening out here. Well, not really evening, but kind of a later on the afternoon, and just kind of chilling out and enjoying some whiskeys. And what we are going to look at today, because I'm almost out of this stuff, so I thought I should do a video on it before I drink the whole goddamn thing, and my guests finish it off on us before we actually do a real true review on it. And I've been meaning to do this for a while, and I just haven't. And this has been so good, and everybody that comes over, I've had wedding clients come over and enjoy it. I've had friends of mine come over and enjoy it. I've had whiskey club members come over and enjoy it. I had pilots, that I used to fly with, come over and enjoy it. And then just me sitting around enjoying it, and my son has really liked this. So this came out in 2023. I am hoping for spirit release in November, which is next month, that we are able to get 2024. I'm hoping, but this is the 2023 Laphroaig Cairdeas, and it is White Port and Madeira Cask. It is freaking awesome.
That's what she said. Don't you dare.
Pick this up at the Taste of Isla last year at Grant Park, and like an idiot, I only got 2 bottles. I should have followed in my good buddy James Burton's footsteps, because most of the time for this kind of good stuff, I will get 3 bottles. And I got 3 bottles of all my favorite stuff, because you drink one, then you've got one to kind of open up and just slowly drink and enjoy, and then you've got another one you can put away for a long time and then enjoy at a later time. Like a moron, I only got 2. So this one's almost done, but I do have another bottle, but then it's done, and you can't find these things anymore. It is just awesome. There's a wasp. He's come to enjoy it. Hey, I haven't opened it yet. You gotta chill out. You can have some after. Anyway, this is at 52.3%. Came out, like I said, in 2023. White Port and Madeira, and it is just awesome. And I guess they said every year since 2006, I believe it is, their distillery manager has decided they're going to put out a limited edition bottling every year, and they're going to call it Cairdeas. Not Cairdeas or Cairdeas or whatever it's called. It's pronounced Cairdeas. And it's Gaelic for friendship. So basically, you get your friends around, come and drink a really rare bottle of booze and get all liquored up. Now, because that's the Scottish way. I know my family comes from Denmark. That's probably the Danish way or the Viking way. But anyway, this is really good stuff. And like all Laphroaigs, it starts with Maker's Mark ex-bourbon barrels. And what that does is bring some spice to it, some dried fruit, some vanilla, some caramel notes to it, and really kind of calms down this scotch, when they put the raw whiskey in. And it goes in, every single barrel, every single whiskey goes into the barrel after it's been distilled at 63.5% ABV. And then after that, they will start marrying different casks over time. So, case in point, this is White Port and Madeira. They get their water from the Kilbride river system, and it's a nice, cool stream, and really popular. Obviously, a very popular river. This is where they get their water from. But it goes through all their peat fields too, and what that does is those really super clean water goes through the peat, and it picks up all these smoky notes. And inside the peat, there's like decayed seaweed and moss and dead wood and decaying heather, and it picks up all those real smoky, peaty, medicinal notes, and it just sucks it into the water. And that's what they use the water in for making this whiskey. But they also use it when they're after they've distilled the barley on their malting floors with this cold smoking method that they use. So it's like 16 feet above these kilns that were made in 1840. They put all this dried um, barley in there, and when they dry it, they keep it still. It's kind of moist. It's still a little bit wet. So all that peat smoke that kind of comes up 16 feet above it, and because that barley's still wet, it really absorbs all that smoky medicinal notes and everything. And the barley is kind of a salty, briny barley because it's used to the cold Atlantic Ocean. And when they're drying it out, they like to keep it at a constant 18 degrees Celsius. And sometimes, it gets to be like 20 or 22 degrees out, and they're like, crap, well, there's no air conditioning in the multi-floor. How in the hell do they keep it 18? They just open the windows. That's all they do at Laphroaig. They're pretty easygoing, common sense guys there that really just know how to make really great whiskey, and they don't need a whole lot of like insane technology to keep this stuff going. They keep it 18 degrees. They just open the windows and let that cool Atlantic air in, and away it goes. Then they take it to the barrel rooms, and all that salty, briny, cold Atlantic air really kind of has a lot of influence on the barrels as it ages, and they just make really, really, really great whiskey out of it. So anyway, this is really awesome stuff. It has been a fan favorite to everybody who's ever had it. I think this stuff sold out within minutes or hours after it was released. I know in Winnipeg, when they had Spirit release, I don't think it was in the stores for more than a half an hour. In all the stores in Winnipeg. Half hour later, maybe not even that. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Because we didn't get a whole lot of the stuff in. Like, we only got a few of these bottles. Like, the place I was at maybe had 6 bottles, and that was it. So fortunately, I was in the top 6, so I was able to grab one of these guys. And but that was in 2021 and 2022 when I grabbed those. This one here, like an idiot, I was so freaking stupid because I should have grabbed another one, but I already had to, because I was at Grant Park for the Taste of Islay, and I grabbed 2 of these guys at the Taste of Islay, and I could have got another bottle when I got into the LC a couple days later when they did Spirit release, and I could have got another bottle, but I've already got 2. I don't need another one. Moron, yes you do. You need more than 1. You need more than 3. You get like 6 of these goddamn things. These are good, and once they're gone, they're gone. And they were disappeared within half an hour or 10, 15 minutes after the stores were open. In some stores, I don't know, maybe other stores had them for longer because maybe the people in other parts of Winnipeg aren't quite as whiskey smart. But anyway, these didn't last long is what I'm saying. And now they're all gone. And you can't find them. You can find them in secondary market, but nobody wants to pay the secondary prices that people are asking for. So I've only got this much left, which is not very much at all. This would be a typical Quig dram. So basically up to about here. There's a guy, you got to check him out. I'll leave his description below. He's got a great YouTube channel. I've watched every single video he's ever made. And he's got a taxi vlog, and I've watched every single taxi vlog he's ever made. I've watched all of his lives, and some of his lives go on for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. I think he did one that was 14 hours. And I just put it on the background while I'm downstairs editing and working away. He's an entertaining guy. He's a super cool guy. He's a taxi driver. He lives in Victoria, BC, on Vancouver Island. I never lived in Victoria, but I lived in Vancouver Island. I started in Nanaimo. I lived in a basement apartment on Commercial Street with my buddy Billy Abraham and Dean Danino, and then they moved home back to Stonewall, and I moved up to Courtenay for a little bit, and then I had a condo between Courtenay and Campbell River. So that's where I lived, and I worked at the Whistle Stop, which is a pub in Courtenay. I worked at, it's no longer there anymore, but when I was in Nanaimo, I worked at Schooner Cove, which is in the Noose Bay. I worked at JJ's Gym in Courtenay. I taught martial arts at a community club. And then I was a bouncer for a very, very, very brief time in Campbell River. but found out it was a big old coke front, so I got the hell out of there, thankfully, because I had nothing to do with that kind of crap. But and then like 2 months later, the police raided the place and arrested everybody. So I was super happy to be out of that place because I did not want to be associated with that at all. But the club was pretty cool. I remember I was bouncing, I was sitting at the door. These guys come up, they barge their way right to the very front. And I'm like, what's going on? You guys got to wait in the back. You got to wait in line. You're no more important than everyone else. Oh, you don't understand who we are. I said, I don't really care who you are. And he goes, well, I'm Theron Fleury from the Calgary Flames. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, you just took out the Winnipeg Jets. So you're definitely going to the back. And he's like, no, we want to come in and party with you guys. I'm like, forget it. You guys go to the back. Well, I got the whole team here with me. I don't care. I'll give you $400 and buy you drinks tonight. I'll meet you out back. So we went out back, got the guys through the back door, got the whole freaking team in there. He gave me $400 and I sat and drank beers with the Calgary Flames all night long. Super cool guys. Love them. And then years later, I was flying out of Calgary when Mika Kiprusoff was one of the goalies there. And I remember they were going to the Stanley Cup final, and they should have still won the Stanley Cup. That goddamn Carey guy, whatever the hell his last name was, the referee, is an absolute piece of shit. And you know you are. They scored the goal, and he didn't count it. He didn't even bother going upstairs. And like Don Cherry, I met Don Cherry several times. Don Cherry's an awesome freaking guy. Don Cherry said, well, that was definitely in the net, and they won the Stanley Cup. But what are they going to do? Call it back in Tampa and then award the Stanley Cup? There'd be a riot. And then they ended up losing the goddamn thing. Anyway, in my mind, Calgary Flames still won the Stanley Cup that year. But we were in this pub, and we're sitting around, and goal was in. Everyone was cheering. They didn't go upstairs. They didn't allow it. And my co-pilot that I was flying with at the time, we're flying corporate on Calgary, he was there with his girlfriend, a couple other pilots, and some ground staff. We're all just hanging out, having drinks, watching the game. He flipped the goddamn table. He took it. He's like, this is crap. And he flips the table. All the draft beer, everything's all over the place. The chicken wings, the nachos everywhere. And he storms out and leaves his girlfriend all behind. I had to give her a ride home. The next day, he was at the airport. We were going flying. I forget where the hell we were going. But anyway, he apologized for his behavior. I'm like, I don't blame you, man. I was pissed off too. But anyway, it was after that, when I was living in Calgary and watched the Flames. I watched a lot of Flames games when I was in Calgary. I really like the Flames. And now they're my team. Like, I love the Calgary Flames. They are my hockey team. Yeah, they're the ones I always cheer for. Winnipeg Jets are okay. Yeah, I don't know. They were good in the 70s when they were winning the Avco Cup. They won all the Avco Cups. They were super dominant. Joe Daly is one of the nicest guys on the planet. Check out, he owns a hockey card shop here in Winnipeg. Super nice guy. If you guys in Winnipeg, go see Joe Daly. He's a great guy. He'll sign anything for you. But just check his website out. He's got a lot of really great stuff on there, and really support Joe Daly. Joe Daly's a great guy. He's a super cool guy. He deserves the key to the city. But anyway, but they were good in the Avco Cup, and then since 1979 when they came into the NHL, they've sucked. They've been terrible. Although I did like when the Bob Asenza era. I never really cared for Keith Tkachuk. He was a bit of an asshole. But I like that whole era of the Winnipeg Jets. That part of the Jets. In the late 80s, early 90s era, they were good. I liked them. They weren't good. They weren't a good team at all. But I liked them. And I really liked Bob Asenza. He was a good goalie. I really liked his goalie equipment. I liked the colors. I liked his mask. I liked his attitude. I really liked Bob Asenza, and I really kind of started liking the team around the goalie Bob Asenza, because I was a goaltender. I played like Billy Smith and Ron Hextall, so I was a bit of an idiot. I chased down guys, jumped on them if they were riding their sticks. I've thrown my stick at refs. I threw my stick at my own players. I've chopped my own players down. I chop other guys down. I tomahawk them if they're coming around the net to try to do a wraparound and get my pad down. Then the stick would come around at the chest level, and I tomahawk him. Word got out really quickly that the goalie's freaking nuts. Don't get anywhere near him. And if somebody tries to punch you, you're a freaking goalie, man. You're invincible. No one's going to hurt you. You just put your glove over their face. You punch them in the throat with a blocker. But by the time you do that and you jump on them and start feeding them, all the rest of the team's on you. And And they're beating the guy up, and I'm like, no, I got this, you know. I'm like, nah. So anyway, Bob says it's great. Not a real huge fan of the Jets, but I really do like the Calgary Flames a lot. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't even know how the hell I got onto that. Like, how did I get onto that? Anyway, we're talking about the Laphroaig Cairdeas. It has nothing to do with Canada. It's from Scotland, and it's an awesome, awesome, awesome whiskey. We've only got, like I said, about this much left. So let's get into this bad boy. Should have listened to James Burton. Always listen to James Burton when it comes to whiskey. Oh my God, it smells good. Because he will tell you to get 3 bottles of the good stuff. And he's the president of our whiskey club, but he's also now the Western distributor to Truth Malters, which includes awesome stuff like Cavalan, which you're going to see a lot of because I got a lot of Cavalan downstairs. And it's one of my favorite world whiskeys of all time. I love Cavalan. They are with High Coast, which is out of Sweden, which is awesome, freaking amazing Swedish whiskey. And they also have another one that I've had was Pocono, which is out of New Zealand. And that is really good stuff. And I think they're with Amroot. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check that out, but they're out of India, and I do have an Amroot downstairs, which I haven't opened yet, but we will. Anyway, check out James. I think he's Jimmy Drummond. So check him out on Instagram. He's got a lot of real wealth of knowledge. And if you are a liquor store or liquor person or whatever, and you're looking for some really good stuff and really great customer service and a lot of knowledge, talk to James and he'll sort you guys out. So if you're looking for stuff from Truth Malters. But anyway, this is the Cairdeas from Laphroaig, which is, like I said, is White Port and Madeira. And you can see that it is about not quite as dark as the Triple Wood was when we reviewed that, but it's still kind of a pale gold color to it. I had a buddy of mine over from the whiskey club, I don't know, like a week ago, maybe 10 days ago or whatever, and he said he can't stop thinking about this particular scotch. He says this was his favorite that we tried that night, and he said I can't stop thinking about how good this Cairdeas was. And it is good stuff. But man, there's like a beautiful peat smoke, ash sweetness to it, dried fruits, even a wine, like a really nice wine smell to it. It's just, oh man, does it ever smell good? If you're wondering what that barking was, that was Zoe. My wife just let him in. He's in and out all the time. He's a nosy little bastard. He's got little black pants on and ankle socks. He's got like little white feet, but they look like his back feet look like ankle socks. So he's wearing dress pants and white ankle socks. He's a cool little dog though. He's super funny and just a sweet little guy. Man, does it ever smell good? A lot of, like I said, there's the peat smoke, you've got the dried fruits, you've got the strawberries, caramel, vanilla, that really nice wine smell, but not like a drying wine smell. It's like a really sweet wine, but it smells really good, but it's just kind of sitting in the background. Viscosity is really great on it. A lot of legs to it. A lot of complex viscosity to this this particular scotch. Man, does it ever smell good? Oh wow! It's just as good as I remembered it. Right away, as soon as you taste it, you get that waft of peat smoke, a little bit of ash, then you get that cinnamon spice on your tongue, which is from the American white oak, and then you got that really amazing fresh fruit like peaches and strawberries, wafting over top of your tongue with all that comes from that White Port and the Madeira casks to it, that real fresh fruit influence to it. And then you've got the taste of like you're biting into a fresh, crisp apple, but that apple is from the fair and it's a candied apple, like those red candy apples. And man, is it ever good. This is really nice. If you can find a bottle of this on the secondary market and it's not too expensive, I definitely suggest you grab one. Or, better yet, check out the mom and pop places, or those little musty, dusty places that are kind of out of the way, that you find these dusty bottles in. You may find a treasure like this, because I have found some really good treasures in some of these little dusty, out of the way places. So check those guys out. You never know what you'll find. Let's add a little bit of water to it. I think it should be able to take water. I mean, it's 52.3% ABV, but it just, honestly, it doesn't need water. It's so good the way it is. But we'll put a little bit of water. I'm only going to put 3 drops in here because we don't have a whole hell of a lot left. And I don't want to water it down too much, even though it is 52.3%. It's really, really, really good. And I think adding water to this would probably ruin it. I don't know if I've ever put water on it because it's always been so good on its own neat. But let's try 1, 2, and 3. I got this little water bottle here. My buddy Dan and I, we're on a booze cruise. We went to Calgary, hit a bunch of distilleries, and a bunch of LCs along the way. And one of them was one of my favorite places on the planet. It's called BSW. It stands for Beer, Spirits, and Wine. It's in Calgary, and they've got a few places in Calgary. Great guys, amazing ownership, real fantastic customer service. They are on it like crazy. These guys are great. Prices are absolutely incredible. You gotta check BSW out. Anyway, we're in there picking up a bunch of stuff and going through the checkout. And I forget what the hell I bought. I bought some scotch, but it was like, it was on sale. And it was like, it came up and I thought, oh, this is $15 cheaper. I think it was like 15 bucks, something like that. And the guy's like, oh, well, let's go check it out. He didn't even say, I don't think so. Or, are you sure? He was like, let's go check it out. So away we went, and we went to where it was on the shelf. And I had the website up too, just to show him as well, just in case. But it was on the shelf, and you know, some places I've been to, they're like, well, it's a mistake. Well, no, it's on your website here too. But I showed him, and he didn't even like bat an eye. I didn't even have to show him the website. He's like, all right, geez, I'm really, really sorry about that. Yeah, for sure. Went in, changed the price, boom, away you go. And he goes, and as a, you know, to make up for our mistake, I want to give you this. And I said, you don't have to give me anything. I said, you guys are awesome. I buy from you guys all the time. You're easily one of the best places to buy from. Love you guys. Your customer service is incredible. Your prices are awesome. You don't have to do anything. He goes, no, we screwed up and we want to do something to make up for it. He goes, you don't honestly have to do that. And he goes, no, we want to. What he gave me was this, it's called Source, and it's a water source from Isla, and it's from the Kilbride River, which they get their water from. So it's a peated water, you know, like it's water from the river, you know, the same water they used to make this whiskey from. So I haven't opened it until today. I just finished another video, and we opened it for that. That was the Triple Wood and the 10-year-old Sherry Oak Cask, so check that out. But anyway, it's pretty cool, and I thought it was super, super, super nice of them to do that. They totally didn't have to, but they did, and I really appreciated that. But anyway, so we let this sit here for a few minutes when I blathered on. Wow, it's a lot sweeter. Got more heather notes to it. You can definitely smell that white port. That really brings that white port smell out. And it smells a lot like those like those caramel apples, you know, you get at the fair. tiny bit of peat smoke, but not like it was. But man, does it ever smell really good and sweet and floral and peaches and strawberries and candy apples and vanilla and heather. Yeah, really nice. It's not bad. Tiny bit of smoke, not as much as it was before. Little bit of spice, but not as much as it was before. A lot of more white port notes to it. So a lot of that sweet peaches and strawberry notes to it. Yeah, just kind of that. And more dried fruit. Like you got those, maybe a little bit of dried apricots, dried bananas, but maybe not dried bananas, but more dried fruit notes to it. But you definitely can taste that white port influence for sure. The smell of the peaches and the strawberries doesn't translate to the taste like it was before adding water to it. But it's nice. It's good. I mean, it's a different tasting whiskey with water to it, but it's still really, really, really good. So, like I said, if you can find a bottle of this, definitely get it. It's definitely worth it. I'm super happy I have another one. Should have got 3 or 4 of these though. So always listen to James Burton. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to this kind of stuff. Don't be an idiot like me. But yeah, anyway, that was the Cairdeas 2023 Cairdeas, the White Port and Madeira cask to it. Really, 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 really great Scotch, 52.3%. Please like and subscribe. Share this with anyone that you think that may have some value to it. I've got a Patreon channel. I've got a PayPal account. If you want to contribute to it, I've got a few people that have done that, which is awesome because all the money that we raise through that will be donated right back into the channel, whether we get new bottles or cigars or sunglasses, watches, kind of whatever, we'll find stuff to give away. Everything that goes into the channel goes right back out to you guys. None of it goes to me. If I can get any kind of swag from any of the distillers or any of the distributors or cigar guys or whatever, I will definitely make sure I pass that along to you as well. I've got an Instagram channel as well. It's called Whiskey, Cigars, and Bond. I'd really appreciate it if you guys went there and gave that a like and a follow, because there'll be a lot of professional photos on there, some videos on there, and some exclusive giveaways just to my Instagram followers. So check that out. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So I really appreciate it. Have yourself a really great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you real soon. Cheers.